Welcome, everybody, to Monday afternoon. This is our accountability and success call. I'm Vanessa Raymond, your confidence and success coach, and I'm always so excited to come on here on Mondays to chat and catch up. And today, naturally, I really want to do a little, for those of you who were at the conference, I'd like to do a little recap of some of your wins this weekend. Maybe you met someone that was a good connection. Maybe you sold something. Maybe you just felt like it was all in all a good learning experience for you. I want you to just share your number one takeaway from the weekend. And those of you who were not at the conference this weekend, who couldn't make it, for you, I would like you to talk to us about your number one goal for this coming week for your business. So we're just going to keep it short and sweet today. And then after that, I want to focus a little bit on the follow-up process. And again, if you weren't at the conference this weekend, doesn't matter. Follow-up is follow-up, whether it's a networking event you went to, whether it's a conference, whether it's a one-on-one. Let's talk about how to effectively keep those people in our pipeline, in our funnel, and hopefully eventually convert them. Something I want to throw in here is that every connection that you make is valuable, because they might engage with you right now. They might engage with you a year or two from now. But it's important to always value your connections and keep them in your pipeline unless they tell you they're absolutely not interested, right? So, hi, Michelle, looking beautiful. Are you feeling better?
I am feeling a little better today. Thank you.
Okay, good. She had a stomach bug or something yesterday.
Honestly, I think it was the stress, just the cumulative, because I want to do things well and do it right. And I put a lot on myself, and doing the conference for you guys was a big deal to me. So I think that's what it was, but I'm doing better today.
And you did a magnificent job, my darling. You were extremely wonderful. So we appreciate you. She took some gorgeous photographs. I love my photos as a speaker. You did such a beautiful job. I loved everything. So, all right. Shauna is here. Wendy is here. All right. So we're going to start with Sally, because Sally, you're always number one on my screen.
Am I now? I thought Beatrice was.
Well, it doesn't matter. You girls are on either side of me. So I would love for you to briefly share one great takeaway this weekend, or anything that happened for you that was monumental.
Okay. I met one person that does what I do for kids, and I really liked her presentation, her elevator speech.
Okay.
So she and I agreed that we need to connect, because if I have people that need their kids' issues addressed, and she has people whose kids need their parents' issues addressed, that's awesome. So
wonderful power partner for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, definitely make that happen.
Yeah.
And when you do that, when you do make that happen, really talk about collaboration opportunities. How can you guys integrate what you do? I mean, you could even have an event where she invites the kids and the kids' parents come, and you invite the parents and the parents' kids come, something like that. I don't know, just ideas.
Right.
There's totally ways to tap into each other's audiences, right?
Yes, and definitely I would like to be present when she does an event, so I can listen to more about how she presents, and then also invite her. So.
Right, fantastic. Thank you, Sally. Now, I'm going to actually just skip to Joanne, my love. I know you've been home now for a couple of weeks since university, and I know you had a lot on your plate. How are you feeling now, and what's happening for you in the here and now?
I think I'm in freeze mode because nothing's happening. I've put all this stuff out and it's like crickets. So, but I'm working quietly, just waiting for other people to come back. And it's really been a research time and that, but I've just been working on my worksheets for that gig I have coming up, and I'm doing my reach outs and
Good.
But
good.
nothing, I mean, things are happening, but I'm waiting on everybody else, if you know what I mean. I'm waiting for someone's signature or someone's this or someone to process this, or it's that kind of thing. So, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's part of the course. It's frustrating, especially when you're starting out and you're just starting to gain. And I know you have momentum in certain areas, but a lot of this stuff is new for you.
Yeah.
You know, you've made a pivot in your business, you're doing, but I think this in-person speaking engagement is going to be huge for you. And I think it's definitely going to get the ball rolling. As far as people responding on your A5, the 5 that you're doing a day, takes time. It's all about consistency. And again, you know, it's that 10% ratio. Like if you're sending out 25 a week, chances are that only 2, 3, maybe 4 are going to be responsive.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
I expect that. It's just things like I've got paperwork in with the state now, and they've had it for 2 weeks. And, you know, it's just like,
I got you. Yeah, it's all the arduous stuff that you're busy with right now. So,
that I have no control over. So,
but you're doing fabulous. You're doing your thing. Just keep your head up and do what you're doing, girl. Well done.
thank you.
Well done. Sam, what's up for you, dude? What's happening?
Well, I'm really sad I missed the event. I'm sure is amazing.
It was.
You should
yeah.
remind me what you want me to talk about. Just any win since I wasn't at the event.
Anyone since you weren't at the event, and if you have any specific goals for yourself in your business this week.
Yeah. So I had a really great month of January. Kind
That's
of out
always
of the
good.
blue. I'm going to share one client win that I had. There was a lady that someone else on my team signed up about a year ago, a really sweet lady who does like high ticket business coaching offers. And we've been doing her payment processing for a while, and we're able to save her some money. And she had a friend who she just sent to our website. I never met the guy, but he booked a call on our website. And then that morning we closed a deal with him. It was awesome because it was an easy win, but also just looking at his account and the type of savings we're able to do. I was really excited because this year he's probably going to double or triple the size of his business. And he's been working with a payment processor for 4 or 5 years that I think they're overcharging him by a lot. And it was really cool to see the savings we're going to provide him right as he's taking off.
Yeah,
And I'm really excited about that.
Congratulations. That is a huge win. Fantastic, Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. We always love hearing these stories. And thank you for doing your best and being excited
Yeah.
to be able to save other people.
It is exciting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. Wendy, what you got for us?
Good morning, guys, or afternoon. I was at the conference this weekend.
Yes.
I met Sally and, Beatrice invited me, and I met you, Vanessa.
Yes.
And yeah. And
I didn't
my biggest-
recognize you with the hat on.
Yeah, do you like it? It's my new, I just got it in
Yeah.
on Friday.
I have your card
do.
right here. Yeah, there you
Yep.
go.
I got all my promo stuff in this week. I got my banner, my retractable banner in while we were at the conference on Saturday. So that was super cool. So my biggest takeaway from the conference is all the synchronicities that I got out of what I'm looking for and what presented themselves during the conference.
Anything specific stand out for you?
Well, there was so many, but like on Friday, there's a book that I'm reading called Where Neuroscience Meets Buddhism. And I don't know anybody else in my circle that would read that book. And on Friday, I was just like, I want to find at least one person to where I can have like a book club type conversation with them about this book. And I met several of those kinds of people.
Nice. Good.
And
Yeah.
just some of the words that some of the presenters were using were just little triggers here and there. So I submitted my application this morning to be a member of Achieve.
Oh, good.
See how that goes.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it still has to be approved, but hey, girl, you know, you have some connections.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
for
sharing
sure.
that. That means a
Thank you.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Robert and Noel, lovelies, my darlings, you guys are on top of it. Thanks for always being on top of it. So tell us a little bit about some of your wins on this weekend.
We had 11 guests show up and no, he was 11. So it was a great connection time for us to connect with those that we got to meet in person for some of them, and build those relationships. I mean, that's my favorite part of this weekend, is just getting to know people better and continuing conversations. My personal thing from the speakers was just refocusing and making sure I got my talk strategized. So when I get on stage, I have the right things embedded in the CTA and all that wonderful stuff that Chris and JB shared.
Yes, that was very informative, right?
Right.
Informative. How about you, Robert?
So I met your guest, Brandon, on Friday at the mixer and introduced myself and then said, yeah, I'm focusing on dentists in 2023. And he says, you're not going to believe this. And he pulled me over to his briefcase and pulled out Raving
book.
Reviews for Dentists that launches on February 22nd. And then coincidentally, we had some interaction on Saturday, but our guest was staying through today. And so we went over to the hotel to take her to lunch yesterday. And Brandon was sitting in the lobby getting ready to go to the airport 4 hours early. So we took Brandon to lunch with our guest and had lunch together, spent the whole afternoon together. And then I took him to the airport because why not? And so
Thank you.
I mean, I don't call it a coincidence because I believe that God wanted him and I to interact. And so we kept showing up in the same places and had wonderful conversations and wonderful connection. And then our guest who left this morning recruited her Uber driver and invited her Uber driver to the June conference. And so,
Cool.
we've got
That's
guests,
awesome.
we've got guests recruiting for Achieve now too.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. And I just want to say, I mean, I was going to introduce you to Brandon. I was so delighted you met him. Thank you for taking care of him yesterday. And actually, I don't know if you even mentioned, but there was a huge misunderstanding. He was under the impression he was speaking this weekend.
It came up.
Yeah, I'm like, well, luckily, I mean, we got to the point of that before he even flew here. So I did say to him, you know, Brandon, if you prefer not to come in, you don't have to, but I think you will definitely benefit from the weekend. And he was like, well, I've got my ticket already. I look forward to seeing you again. And so it was just all in all a really good thing. And I'm so glad you made that amazing connection.
Well, and our guest really connected with him as well. And they're both
Linda.
looking forward to June, Lisa.
Lisa. Yeah, I'm meeting with Lisa on Friday, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, they're both
Awesome.
looking forward to June already. So she's at least excited about hearing him speak in June. So
Yeah, and he's great. He's great on stage. Fantastic. Thank you. Hi, Stacia. Welcome. Michelle, now you worked your little booty off this weekend. She ran like a crazy person. She was on her feet the whole time. Thank you again. You're amazing. But you did have an opportunity while you were taking photos and so forth, meeting people, hearing speakers. Is there anything that stood out for you this weekend?
I think the thing that I love about it is just the opportunity to serve. I realized after the fact, being sick all day yesterday from the stress of it, that it mattered to me. You know, it was a big deal and I wanted to do it well and do it right. And that shows me that it's important. And as I was able to connect with different people throughout the weekend, there were different conversations that happened where I realized that what I do in photography, it's more than just taking pictures. There's impact there that even sometimes I don't realize. I've spent a lot of time building a skill set that allows me to produce a product, but it's so much more than that. And I don't want to steal Beatrice's thunder, but would love to. Beatrice, would it be okay if I read that message you sent me last night? Is that okay? Okay, she says yes. So I'm just going to, and I'm going to try to do it without crying, but it's probably not going to happen. So she and I have been chatting for a little bit about the photos, headshots or empowerment photos, whatever that looks like. And she's been hesitant to do that. Intrigued, interested, but hesitant. And she finally came over to the headshot booth on Saturday and said, okay, all right, let's do it. And as I'm taking her pictures, I showed her the back of my camera and she teared up and she said, I've never seen myself that way. And I'm just going to read this message that she sent to me after Vanessa forwarded her one of the event photos of her. Because, and the reason I want to share this is because I want you each to realize that what you do matters, that there's impact behind it. If your heart is not to be out there to make a profit, but to be there to serve, it will completely change how people receive what you do. So this is what Beatrice said to me. My dear sister and friend, I must commend you for the talents God has granted to you as a photographer and that you allow him to use through you. I just had a really good cry because this picture Vanessa forwarded to me. You see, I have repeatedly asked God to show me to myself from his perspective. In this picture, I saw a different Beatrice, a beautiful Beatrice I had never seen before. You, my dear, captured this, the essence of God through me to the world. I don't believe I will ever be able to see myself again from the perspective I previously had. May God abundantly bless you. I love you more than you will ever know. I will be praying for your business in ways you can't even imagine. God bless you, Beatrice.
Wow. Even I'm crying.
Me too.
You know, that to me, that's why I
Yeah.
do what I do. It matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw that picture and I had to send it to her immediately because I was like, that is the radiant Beatrice. She was just in all of her own glory, doing her own thing, totally unaware of being photographed. And it was the most beautiful capture. And yes, Beatrice, that's you, girl. That is you. That's who we see. You know, and so with that, Michelle, thank you so much. I'm going to go to Beatrice.
Okay, look, let me just say this, okay? I grew up in South Carolina in a time when Black people didn't respect or love each other. I was told many times by my own people that I was too Black to be pretty, too Black to be successful, too Black to accomplish anything in life. Therefore, it was a long time. I was in my 30s before I was even able to accept from someone who was actually darker than me that I was actually pretty. And then it wasn't until my 50s when my husband kept telling me, he said, you're the absolutely most gorgeous woman I've ever seen in my life. And I'm looking at, man, what you want? I already cooked you dinner. What you want? You know? And he would look at me and he said, baby, no, I'm serious. But the pictures that Michelle took this weekend, when I saw the one that Vanessa sent to me, I sat up here and I cried like a baby because that was the very essence that God was showing me of himself through me, so that I could finally accept that, yeah, I'm a gorgeous chick, Mac, chick.
Yeah.
Because Mac thought I had said the B word about myself last week when we were on the show up. And I said, no, dude, I don't use profanity. I don't do all that stuff. But I am a gorgeous chick. And when I saw the pictures that Michelle had taken when we were at her booth, and then the picture that Vanessa sent me, I was like, my God. And I said, God, this is what you've been trying to show me all this time. And so now I can look at myself in the mirror and say, go girl with your bad self, because you're a bad somebody. That's it, y'all. And that's my takeaway from this weekend. God bless y'all.
Yay! I love it.
Awesome.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That's awesome. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you. With that, I'm going to go to Mac, seeing as he came up. Mac, we're just sharing our wins or takeaways from the weekend, things that stayed with us after we left.
I've always been a lover of events. And I think I said this to Shauna and a couple other people. It wasn't so much what I got out of the room. After 50 years of doing these types of events, a lot of it is repetitive. You just have to put it into practice. For me, on all these events, it's the hallway time. We sat around, Shauna and several others, we all sat around, what was that, Saturday night. And I said, this is where you get to know somebody. You might get to know the person next to you at the table for a minute, but when you are sitting down, you're having dinner, you're having a lemonade or a cocktail, whatever it is, for an hour or two, that's when you really learn. And that's when you have to grasp. I see so many people go to these events and they're at the trade show and then they're gone.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not the part you're supposed to be missing. That's the part you're supposed to be at. That's why you stay at the hotel, so that you don't have to drive home. And for me, that's what it was. Not, is the time that I got with dozens of people. I was having a conversation earlier today, and I had said something to somebody, and people don't always understand the purpose of what we're doing. There was somebody that was tied into one of my companies, and I wasn't prospecting, but I was planting seeds, and they said, oh, but there's so many people that are involved with this already. I said, well, yeah, but what I noticed is they're all here for a different reason than this particular company. I said, we have to grasp when something is being put to us, and we either view it and say, yes, I can use that, or no, I've tried that before. That's not for me. It might be for somebody else. I even said to somebody, and I don't remember who, is probably 50% of the people in the main room really needed everything that was being said.
Right.
The other half of people needed to connect.
Right.
And that's where the other action happens.
I appreciate it, Mac. Yes, and that's the thing. It's so multidimensional. And that's also why Chief is so multidimensional, because every single person, every single business needs something different. It's in the same vein, but it's something different. And yes, that's why Rob is so insistent on our leaders staying in the hotel at these things, because that's when the connections happen. It's not in the day during the event. The event's fabulous and the energy's up and everyone's learning stuff, but the real connections are made after hours. So thank you, Mac. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Sherry, it was so good to have you there. You've been a busy girl. I'm so glad you made it. Did you make any valuable connections this weekend, or do you have any special wins or takeaways you want to share?
I made a couple of connections, but my energy, and I was having injury issues. It was just really hard. But I came up with my like a 3 little sentence pitch thing. And I was interviewing just before this happened and why I was late for a podcast from a lady in North Carolina. She is not connected to Achieve, never heard of Achieve, and her goal is helping women start businesses. And so she's a strategist. And so I'm on her podcast at the end of this month. Yay! So that's really exciting. The book is almost done. I'm working on the artwork. I stupidly found a chapter I forgot to give him. Oops. and I realized something was wrong and I didn't know what it was. So I'm making a list of all the chapters and everything. And I come across that one and I realized, oh crap, there's a whole little chat. It's just a tiny one missing. So the timing was just perfect. Yeah, there's lots going on. I get to go to a thing this Friday where I get to bring my camera and take pictures in this gallery, which is cool. And I'm looking for fitness people, yoga people, and martial arts or Tai Chi or something like that in the Colorado Springs area to take pictures, because I'm coming up with my speakers reel and some other video work that I'm doing.
Fantastic. So, Shauna, if you know anybody, you can share with Sherry. Sherry, I'll put my thinking cap on too. I know a few people out there that might be, I think I'm saying that now, but I have to revisit that thought. I certainly know people in this area. I'm not so sure about the Springs, but we'll put our thinking cap on. If any of you know anyone like that, let Sherry know. Thank you, Sherry. All right, so we only have Shauna and Stacia left. Shauna, I'm gonna let you share next.
Thank you. Real quick for Sherry, another gal for fitness in Colorado Springs would be Eva Baca Currents.
Oh yeah,
she might
Eva.
have connections. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And actually Mac talking a second ago reminded me of a great takeaway. I had a guest there, and the end of the weekend, you know, his comment was, well, I don't know if this is the place for me, because the reason he was there is for a certain business he's in. And he said, there's a lot of us here, you know, it's kind of washed out with that specific product. He said that Saturday night. And so I thought about it all night of like, I thought about him all night. So yesterday morning, we went for breakfast. Mac was there, and I was explaining to him, I said, you know, and I just kind of explained to him that, like, yes, we're all here, you know, we have the same kind of product under our belt type of thing, but that's not what it's about. It's about you. It's about who you are, branding you and having that as part of you. And so, you know, he started thinking more about that stuff. He had a long travel day yesterday. By the end of last night, he's like, okay, we need to talk tomorrow, because I already have 3 of these people actually that are in the business. He's like, I have 3 people interested, so I need to figure out how to get them this information, and let's talk more to see how to get me on board and this and that. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Well done, girl. Well played, and the exact right thing to say, because a lot of people are still in that old school mentality of, oh, you know, I'm not going to join this group because there's someone else doing what I do. People don't understand that we're not that kind of group, and that's not what we do.
Right.
Regardless of who you are and regardless of what business you have, we're here to help you grow as a unit. And you said the right thing. It's not about the business. It's about him and the way he brands himself, because that's what's going to set him apart from the rest. And so, well done, girl. Proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
And a huge, just little side note, if I'm here for anybody, if anybody needs anything, got a little promotion for Achieve in general this weekend, and I'm grateful and blessed for that promotion. So I'm here for all of you.
Congratulations, lovely. Tell them what you're doing. What's your promotion?
I'm an alpha of Achieve Systems.
She's a new alpha, so and that's a huge honor.
Yes,
so
it is.
Well done, sweetheart.
Thank
Very
you.
proud of you. Okay, last but not least, my beautiful Stacia. We're almost out of time. I'm going to let you share.
Hey, I have just a couple quick things. First of all, I enjoyed our conversation right after the ambassadors meeting. Just your insight was so valuable to me. Phyllis, how she advertised and promoted the Connect and Collaborate group, I was like so just glowy because she was so awesome. And it was just so great to have my husband there, showing him off to you guys and vice versa, and just getting that bigger picture. So anyhow,
It was wonderful to meet your hubby. And yes, thank you for always showing up and with that beautiful, bright energy of yours. And thanks for sharing. Well, you guys, you know, we're out of time. All I'm going to say is please do your follow-up. Send those thank you messages. Thank you for attending. And for those of your guests who might not have made it, reach out to them. Say, hey, we missed you there. We have another one coming up in June. I'd like to invite you to that one. And then just also make sure you get those one-on-ones in with the people you need to, or refer them to us, make those introductions. That is the most important thing you have to do this week. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. I think that was super valuable for me. Absolutely. I got a lot out of this call. I hope you did too. And I will see you again next week. Next week, Monday, same time, same place. You guys, love you.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Thanks, Vanessa. See everybody.
Thank you, Sally.
Yeah.